Okay, friends, all anyone has talked about in the last few days around here is Hurricane Irene. And I do live in southeastern North Carolina. I do live in a place where we have had storms before. My sister and I lived in Charleston, South Carolina when Hurricane Hugo came through there. Fortunately, we had evacuated, but the aftermath is something I do not want to go through again. At the moment, it looks like Hurricane Irene is not going to directly impact us with hurricane strength. It might still, but we will be in tropical storm conditions. But it's heading further north, and it's going to head to an area where people haven't been as prepared for hurricanes in the Northeast. It's been a long time since one of any sort of significant strength has hit. So a lot of people live there who may not remember what pets are going to fight. May not remember what to do or how to prepare or what it's like. So this is just my basic 411 about hurricane preparedness, mainly for people I know, but I'd love for anybody to see it. One of my contacts, Tiffany, with a PR agency that does work for Verizon Wireless, sent me some great tips about cell phones. I want to get to those first. One, on your, I'm going to shoot my cat. No, I'm not. I would never do that. With your cell phone or your iPad or tablet, whatever, there are applications from weather services, and there are also applications from your local TV stations. And I would download those because that might be your best way to get information over the next few days. I'm talking about how to be prepared, but I'm also trying to sort of prepare you if the storm does come to you. If you do experience some of that devastation, I'm kind of trying to get you ready for the after effect too. So having those applications, you'll be able to get news and updates. If you're without power and you've been able to keep your devices charged, that'll be a great way to know what's going on. During a storm, try to limit your calls because you want the wireless networks to be available for people who have an emergency situation, for the emergency agencies, for their operations, for their responders, for people who are in need of help. Send text when possible for the same reason. I would have no problem with that. I love to text. Be sure to pack your car chargers if you leave, or within your sort of hurricane kit, if you assemble one. Be sure you have your car charger, because in the days after, if you don't have power, if you've gassed up your car, I should have said that first, but you could always go sit in your car for 15 minutes and charge your phone. Even though you don't want to use up gas in your car, you might not be going a lot of places. Keep all of your wireless devices charged. And if you do have to evacuate, you're going to want to forward your cell phone, your landline to your cell phone if you still have a landline. So many people don't anymore. Important things to have: a weather radio and battery backup, flashlights and battery backup. We actually have some Coleman lanterns that we use on the rare occasion that we camp, because I'm not a big fan of camping. And we also use them during storms if we lose power. They're very handy to have around. Leading up to a storm, get your car full of gas. Get extra cash if you think you might need it. Refill any prescriptions that you might need. Look at your house and bring in anything that's loose, anything that the wind might pick up, because that can be the thing that might break your window, break your car window, break your neighbor's window, or anything to that effect. Hanging plants. Just go out and take a look around and bring everything in that you can. We help with my parents' home, and they have a house near the beach, and we have to bring in all the furniture, and you do forget about things, but if you just kind of scan it and make a list of everything that you need to bring in, and your kids can help you do that, so put them to work too. During a storm, put your valuables and your important papers, maybe get your insurance papers together in case you're going to need those. and your valuables, put them all in a waterproof tote and put it on the highest floor of your house. Hurricane Hugo is notorious for the area around McClellanville for families who had to break through into their attic, and I know the same thing happened in Katrina. The water rose so high that they had to break through. So put everything on the highest things that you want dry, put them on the highest level of your house just in case. If you're staying at home, if you're not evacuated out of your area, fill up your bathtub with water, because you can use it to flush your toilets, you can use it to wash up. Don't use that for drinking water. You need to have, for Hurricane Kit, they advise you to have at least 3 days of food for your family, non-perishable food. Be sure to put a can opener in there. And they say 7 days of water, which I think it's interesting. So I guess if you run out of food, you'll at least still have water. Part of the problem is, even if the storm passes, if there's enough damage, your stores aren't going to be open. And people kind of forget about that piece. It really is staggering the way it can be. And my great hope is that it won't be, but just in case. Having that food is a good idea, and they recommend a gallon of water a day for each person in your family. Because also typically after a storm, it kind of brings in tropical weather. It's usually really hot after a storm too for a couple of days, so you will need that water. Set your fridge to the maximum cold setting that you can, in the hopes that if you do lose power, hopefully it'll be for a short time and you'll be able to salvage your food, but watch that carefully. If you have an infant and they get formula, be sure that you have enough formula, I would say for a week or two. And if you're using disposable diapers, the same thing, because you just don't want to have to worry about that. Manual can opener, first aid kits, prescriptions, cell phone chargers again, battery powered radio, weather radio is very important, and having extra cash just in case. Hopefully on Monday we'll all be going, oh, Irene, no big deal. But just in case, it doesn't hurt to prepare. And I don't mean, my husband did buy me more wine this week, and I really appreciate that. But our local Walmart, they said the thing they were selling the most of was beer and Pop-Tarts. And that's probably not your best route. You do want to make sure your family's prepared. If you are asked to evacuate, if you're told that you're in a dangerous zone, please do it. Please, because they really are looking out for you. It might be a pain in the neck. But think about where you would go, and think about what you would take with you, so that you might want to write those things down so that you have it, because if you're asked to evacuate, you want to be able to do it. If you're going to evacuate to a local shelter instead of to a family member or friend, or a lot of people evacuate to hotels, be sure you call ahead, because they'll fill up if you have an evacuation. But if you evacuate to a local shelter, bring bedding for your family, bring books, board games if you can, to try to keep yourselves entertained. Like I said, I really hope that on Monday we're going, whatever, but there's always a very real risk, and you need to take it seriously. And the emergency management people, it may feel like they're being overly cautious, but I would err on the side of caution and take care of yourselves and take care of your family. And like I said, hopefully we're laughing next week. Thanks for stopping by.